You probably don't think of yourself as particularly intelligent. Maybe you weren't the top student. Maybe you struggle to stay focused. Maybe your room is a mess, you talk to yourself out loud, and you worry constantly about things other people seem to just let go of. Here's what the research actually says about all of that. Every single one of those things, the mess, the self-talk, the constant worrying, has been directly linked to higher intelligence in peer-reviewed studies. Not because intelligence looks the way school told you it looks, but because the real signs of a genuinely sharp mind are so quiet, so ordinary, that most intelligent people go through their entire lives not recognizing them in themselves. 3 of those signs are in this video, and by the end, I genuinely think you're going to see yourself differently. Sign 1. You worry more than most people. Think of 2 weather forecasters. The first one glances outside, sees blue sky, says, "Looks fine," and moves on. The second one checks pressure systems, wind patterns, temperature shifts, and historical data before giving a forecast. Because they know blue sky right now doesn't mean blue sky in 3 hours. Which forecaster would you trust with your outdoor wedding? A study by psychologist Alexander Penny and his team at Lakehead University, published in Personality and Individual Differences, found that verbal intelligence was a direct predictor of how much someone worries. The researchers found that the brain's tendency to anticipate threats and run through worst-case scenarios isn't pointless anxiety. It's a highly sophisticated forecasting system, running more possibilities than the average mind bothers to generate. The person who can't stop imagining what could go wrong isn't neurotic. They're running weather models while everyone else is just looking out the window. That's not a weakness. That's what genuine intelligence looks like when it doesn't have an off switch. Sign 2. You talk to yourself out loud. Most people treat talking to themselves like an embarrassing habit, something you hide in public, something that signals you've slightly lost the plot. Here's a different way to look at it. Imagine a surgeon performing a complex operation. They talk through every step out loud, not because they've forgotten what they're doing, but because externalizing the process keeps each decision clear, deliberate, and in order. The talking isn't confusion, it's precision. Research from Mount Royal University, published in Behavioral Sciences, found that people who regularly use self-directed speech, talking through problems out loud, show stronger self-regulation than those who stay silent. When you mutter to yourself while working through a problem, you are doing exactly what that surgeon does. You're not struggling. You're processing at a level of deliberateness that most people never bother with. Intelligent people talk to themselves because their thinking is detailed enough to need organizing out loud. Sign 3. You feel most alive when you're alone. Think of a musician who spent 10 years mastering their instrument. Put them in a loud room where everyone's talking at once and they can't hear themselves play. They don't perform worse because they're incompetent. They perform worse because the environment is incompatible with the precision their skill requires. A study in the British Journal of Psychology by researchers from the London School of Economics and Singapore Management University, surveying over 15,000 adults, found that more intelligent people actually reported less satisfaction from socializing with friends more frequently. Not because they dislike people, but because their internal world is sufficiently stimulating that they require less external input to feel engaged. Separate research from Wilfrid Laurier University confirmed that creative thinking and genuine insight are specifically enhanced during solitary quiet time. The brain produces its clearest, most original thinking when it's not competing with social noise. The person who feels most like themselves when they're alone isn't antisocial. They're a musician who finally found a quiet room, and some of the most intelligent work in human history was done in exactly that kind of room. The worrying, the self-talk, the need for solitude. None of those are accidents or flaws. They're documented, research-backed signs of a mind that processes the world at a depth most people simply don't operate at. So the next time someone tells you that you think too much, talk to yourself too much, or spend too much time alone, you don't need to defend yourself. The research already did that for you.